To the gods, peace to the earth. Y'all climb on in, climb on in. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Let me pull up the comment board to make sure I can see everybody. Y'all climb on in this deal. Got a few things to discuss today. I know y'all see what's on the board. We're going over daily food combinations and dangerous times of the day to eat. It's more important what time you eat than what you actually eat. Now, I'm not saying ever eat meat. I would never promote meat eating. I would never promote dairy products. I would never promote beans and complex protein amino acids. I will never promote that. But I will say this. It is more important what time you eat and how you combine your food with the time you eat. When you eat than what time you eat. So let's get to it. Y'all climb on in. Climb on in. Yes, we in this deal. Peace, peace. Lucy Lou. Shalom, shalom. Peace, love, light, and healing. Rasta. Peace, peace. Kathura. Peace, peace, queen. Tiffany Daniels. Y'all climb on in. Jeff in the building. Amber Link. Peace, queen. Y'all climb on in here. Young Yashua Ban Yasha Allah. Peace, love, and light and healing, young cub. How you doing, young cub? How you feeling, young lion? Hey, that's the brother that everybody keep liking on my page that did that rap and mentioned me and put my name and stuff in it. That little bro right there goes super hard. 16 years old, and can rap his ass off, y'all. So we most definitely be looking out for some music videos and stuff from him. I'm gonna make sure I get him a couple videos, and you know what I'm saying, trying to put him in a position for his voice can truly be heard, because hey, that young king got mad talent. That God got mad talent. Peace, peace. Climb on in, climb on in. So I ain't gonna be too long today. I'm gonna try to keep this video limited to like 45 minutes, so y'all bear with me. But I did want to get on here today and talk about something that's very, very important. And what's very, very important is daily food combinations and dangerous times a day to eat. Again, what you eating is important, but what you eating is not as important than when you're eating. When you're eating is very, very vital. What time you're eating is very important to your cells. What time you're eating is very important to the energy distribution of your body. What time you eating is the most important thing in your day, because you eat for fuel. So if your body is shut off and not taking fuel at a time, then why you eating at that time? You see what I'm saying? Would you put gas in a fuel tank if the fuel tank is already full? No, you won't, because all of that energy is not going to go into the car for you to utilize the fuel you just put in the car. All that excess energy you trying to put in there and put on top of the gas when the tank is already full, it ain't gonna do nothing but spill back out of the tank. Now you're wasting energy. So we're going to talk about this today. We're going to talk about how to properly combine y'all food. I have a food combination chart that is on my website. I downloaded it to my desktop, and I'm going to share that with y'all, and we're going to go through all of this today. And I'm not going to leave y'all hanging. Y'all going to know how to properly combine y'all food. Y'all going to know the times when to eat, what to eat, and why to eat it at the time that I prescribed, and we're going to get straight to it. So if y'all ready to get this started, y'all type in some nines. Peace, love, light, and healing to all those who just coming in. Peace to the gods, peace to the earth. If you're on my blue check page, type in some nines. If you're on my Facebook blue check page, type in some nines. If you on my Yaki Hickman page, my personal page, type in some eights. And if you're on YouTube, type in some sevens, and we're going to get this started. We gonna get it started. And make sure y'all got some pens and a pad to write this down, because we finna go over some very, very important things. All right. All praises. Okay. I'm just looking for some eights. Okay, I see the eights. All right, so let's talk about it. So today, what I really want to talk to and I want to get into is something called the circadian rhythm. I really want to talk about that and get into depth into the circadian rhythm, because when you get in depth into it, you will understand that the circadian rhythm is the biological clock of the body. Every organ have its own biological clock, and this biological clock is stimulated by the pineal gland. The pineal gland is a gland. Well, it's actually an organ. So before we get into that, I want to break down the difference between a gland and an organ. A organ is something that creates something. That's an organ. Like organs create music. Well, your body is made of organs that create frequencies, that create harmony, that creates certain chemicals for your glands can produce the chemicals and utilize the chemicals. All right. So there's a difference between an organ and a gland. The reason why the European start calling our organs glands is because their organs and their glands does not operate like our organs and glands do. Our glandular highway produces and utilize, but our organs actually create things. All right. So the pineal gland don't only harmonize or don't only utilize carbon or what we're going to call melanin sugars. It produces carbon, it produces melanin, it produces sugar. It means it creates these things. So if the so-called gland is creating it, then it's an organ, it's not a gland. You see that? But their pineal gland doesn't do that because they don't produce melanin that way. They produce crystal melanin that have sulfur in it from the cells of their skin, and it's mixed with ammonia and not selenium like ours. So they call theirs and gland. That's part of their glandular highway. But if you look inside of the black anatomy, if you look inside of the so-called Negro body and you check out the way his pineal or pineal or third eye, whichever one y'all want to call it, the way his or hers function, it functions like an organ because it creates carbon, it creates sugar, it creates this crystal dark matter substance that we call melanin. So that's the difference. Now, the reason why we're getting into this and the reason why we're talking about the pineal gland is because the pineal gland is activated through light stimulation. Now, what's so important about light stimulation is light stimulation supposed to come from the sun. But since we're in this modern day technology, advanced technology day, we're getting most of our light through infrared lighting, through all these fake lights, you know, these lights that I'm using down here right now. And it's very, very unhealthy for you. And that's the reason why that I'm trying to limit my time when I'm going live from these lights. So 45 minutes to an hour, I'm out. I'm not going over an hour anymore because my pineal gland is getting tricked right now. Right now it is dark outside, but my body is acting like it's light outside due to the circadian rhythm and biological clock of my organs because my pineal gland is being tricked by these artificial lights. My pineal gland does not realize that this light is not fake. My pineal gland is receiving light through the back of my optic lobe and looking, and it's thinking that the sun is outside. So now my body is being kicked into different times of the day set by my organs, set by my biological clock. So I got 1, 2, 3, I got 4, I got 5, I got 6 lights going on. So according to my body and according to my pineal gland, it is telling the organs in my body that it's 12 noon. 12 noon is when the sun is the highest in the sky. So right now my body is ready for food when I just ate an hour ago. You see that? So now my body is being prepared for food while trying to break down food at the same time. So now the biological clocks inside of my body are being confused. So now what's happening is my stomach is producing hydrochloric acid. The same time as my stomach producing hydrochloric acid, my pancreas is trying to rest because my pancreas think that it already ate a while ago. So now I'm messing up the alimentation period of my body, or I'm messing up the circadian rhythm of my body to go live for y'all. This is very important. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because half of your sickness and diseases are coming from what we're talking about today. And that is truly daily food combinations in the times of day that we're eating. All right. So if y'all got this so far and where we going with this, type in some 9s and we'll keep it going. Make sure y'all subscribe, make sure y'all like, and make sure y'all share this video everywhere. We finna get real deep into this. And if y'all get everything that I'm talking about, type in some 9s and we're gonna break this down. We're gonna break the times down. I'm gonna pull up my food combination chart. We're gonna go through my whole entire chart that's on my website and that you get when you get any of our herbal protocols or packages. And let's go through it. Let's go through it. Because this is truly, truly killing us, family. I'm keeping it 100. This is killing us. Okay. All right. So I'm glad y'all get this. All right. Let's break it down. So I want to start this off like this. Let's start off with the sun. The reason why I want to start off with the sun, S-U-N, is because the sun, S-U-N, or we can say S-O-N. It depends on which theology you in, which belief system you going by. We're going to say both of them. It's because the sun is the creator of all things. The sun is the creator of life. And if you follow the sun, then you will have eternal or everlasting life. And what I mean by that is, if you're following the sun, if you just look out in nature and you see what the sun does and how the sun goes through its different cycles, the sun goes through its different portals. Through these different times, certain energies are released from that sun through sulfate and through photosynthesis and through all the other carbon constituents that the sun is giving out through these phases. Your body is having a biological reaction to the sun. The sun is full of intellect. The sun is full of information, and it feeds the information through you by way of melanin. And melanin is nothing but condensed sunlight. That's all carbon is. It's condensed sunlight, or it's condensed information that the sun had fed through it by way of cholesterol moving throughout your skin in your epidermal. That's all it is. So when the sun is highest in the sky, the sun is eating. What is the sun eating? The sun is eating oxygen. The sun is eating sulfur. The sun is eating carbon dioxide, all coming from the plants, all coming from the vegetables, the cellulose, coming from the water of the seas, coming from the ocean. When you see the sun and it's rising and you can see the sun walking on the water, the sun is actually picking up intellect and it's communicating with the seas, with the lakes, with the ocean. The sun is communicating with the plants. And not only those, but the sun is most definitely communicating with you, so-called black man, black woman. This is a communication. This is a relationship, right? So in any relationship, you have to have an understanding of who each individual is and the roles and the functionings they play. Well, the sun represents a masculine energy. The moon represents a feminine energy. They are in a relationship with each other. The stars represent the seeds or the children of the moon and the sun. If you look up and you see how they interact with each other, we're supposed to be doing the same things here on the earth. So when the sun rises, right? You supposed to rise with the sun, because that moment the sun start rising, your biological clock, especially the glands inside of the subglomerular glands and mucose glands inside of your stomach, start producing something called serotonin. Now, what serotonin is a conversion of melatonin. And this melatonin conversion, Sera or Sirius, is what makes you lively for the day. This is what jumpstarts your digestive system. This is what keeps you live and alert. This is what makes you focus. This is what gets rid of the brain fog and have you go to work, and you can work an 8-hour shift if you working for the slave master, or if you're an entrepreneur and you trying to pursue the creation, the God that you are. But that gives you that vitality and that energy to rise with the sun and do your purpose here while the sun is out in the sky. That literally is between 6 and 12. So between 6 and 12 will be the actual time that you are drinking your water. That's the time that serotonin, or your biological clock inside of your stomach, is producing the serotonin for you can mainly focus. Now between 6 and 12, this is your water period. Now, why is this your water period? Because between 6 and 12 is your cleansing period. You see that? So we don't want to get up as soon as we get up, we eat breakfast. You don't break your fast between 6 and 12 because your body is not ready for food yet. Your body is still cleansing. You see that? Because your body, each organ in your body have a biological clock. Well, I'm producing serotonin. Serotonin helps my body cleanses. See, melatonin helps my body sleep. And while my body is sleeping, my body is repairing itself. There's a big difference, but we're going to go through that. So between 6 and between 12 is a water period. You rise with the sun at 6 a.m., then you drink water. Why do you drink water? And what I mean by water, I am not talking about H2O. I am talking about H3O2. And this is the water from your fruits. You're going to drink juices. You're going to be juicing, getting that H3O2 from the water, which is your 3 hydrogens and your 2 oxygen molecules, your carbon constituents, which is carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. The fruit water comes with its most simplest amino acid structures that you need, the most simplest fructose sugars that you need, and I mean literally all the carbon constituents that you need with the trace vital minerals that you need. And if you break down the word mineral, which I break down to y'all all the time, man means from in Hebrew, or means light in Hebrew, and all means from above. So literally when you taking minerals, you are getting pieces of light fragments from the sky, from above. And that's what you're doing when you go and sit out in that sun, and that sun feeds you information and converts this sunlight into melanin through cholesterol and gives you your pigmentation, or give you your 12 melanated clusters, or what we're going to call the 12 cranial nerve centers inside of your brain. That's going to give you your melatonin, which makes you mellow, give you your serotonin, which makes you serious. That's going to truly feed feed the body. But your body and your biological clock will be all out of whack if you don't listen to what I'm saying now. So everything that I'm saying, I'm giving you a 4-process period of how the body works with the sun, with the moon, and with the stars. And that's why it blows my mind when people say astrology is not real or astrology is wicked. Yes, it can be used as wickedness, but we would be some damn fools if we sit up here and said that the moon cycle doesn't minister the minister cycle of a woman, that the moon cycle doesn't mess with the circadian rhythm or mess with the psychological processes of a woman and a man, that when full moons come out, people ain't acting crazy. That's true. Or the moon literally moves and brings in the waves of the tides of the ocean, and your body is made of 87% water, and your mind, your brain is made of 92% water. So if the moon is governing the tidal waves of the ocean, and you or just a small tiny water drop to the ocean, you don't think that gravitational friction pull from the moon is messing with you and messing with your biological clock? Come on, man, let's be serious. We got to be serious here. We got to get up out of this scary ass mindset and think everything wicked and start like getting down to the scientific part of things and things that start making more sense. Yahweh have came into our lives to create things and make it simplistic, to make it make sense. If it's confusion, then it's not a Yahweh. It's not a Yahweh. You see that? The sun stimulates your melanin. So how does not the sun have nothing to do with your mood? How does the sun not have anything to do with your intellect, with your emotions? Do you realize that 98% of depressed people, they're depressed because they're not outside in the sun enough? So you telling me that sunlight has a big effect on my emotions? Oh, snap. But hey, astrology wicked though. We got to start redefining what's wicked and what's not wicked. We got to start really reading in between the lines of these scriptures and seeing what's being conveyed and what's not being conveyed here, because it don't line up with Yahweh's creation. If it don't line up with the creation of Yahweh, if it's against the creation of Yahweh, then it's not a Yahweh. Straight up, you're either reading it wrong or you're conceptualizing it wrong, or it's wrong. Something's wrong, but it would never go against simple creation. It would never go against that. Yahweh is simplistic. He makes things simple for us to understand. If I got to jump through hoops to understand it, then it shouldn't be for us, period. See that? We got to understand the simplicity here. So anyways, back to it. So when the sun rises at 6, you rise with the sun. This is your libation period. This is the time you drink the most H3O2. Not H2O, but H3O2. If you can't get H3O2, which is organic seeded fruits, and juice those and drink those, get you some spring water, alkaline, natural spring water, H2O. This will lubricate and jumpstart your organ. The reason why I jumpstarted is because these trace minerals, when it goes inside of water, which is hydrogen and oxygen, it creates electrical currents. This will literally shock your system and wake your organs up to tell them, hey, your body, it's time to start producing serotonin. Chill on the melatonin. You don't need to be mellow no more. You got a purpose to walk out through the day. So start producing melatonin. Notice this starts in the gut. This starts in the gut by way of the hypothalamus gland. So don't get it wrong. The hippocampus is active, but it's active in the gut. So between 6 and 12, you're drinking water, not too much water, not too much H3O2. You just lubricating the body because you are still in a fast state. Right now, between 6 and 12, once 12 noon hit, that is when the sun is the highest in the sky. Remember, I just said the sun is the highest in the sky because it's eating everything within its proximity that is looking down on the earth. Earth is not round at all. So the sun would never be on one side of the earth, and then at the bottom of the earth, the sun is not there. That's why you in the air is called an airplane. This is a multi-dimensional plane. So if the sun is on one side of the earth, the moon is on the other side of the earth. But this is not no round thing we talking about here. And we're going to show the earth is literally made like a disc, y'all. And that's the reason why the sun go consecutive or secular around it. And it makes sense. And that's why it lines up with the crops. That's why it lines up with your food. That's why it lines up with the whole anatomy of your body. But that's a whole nother topic and subject. So when the sun is highest from the earth in the sky, the sun is collecting all the information and phytonutrients it needs from the earth. Not only is it doing that, but it's feeding this information back to the earth and to the people that inhabit the earth, the true humans, color, people that inhabit the earth. It is feeding information and intellect back to them by way of solar times, or by way of serotonin and melatonin, by way of condensing its sunlight with all the light cold frequencies and particles and all the constituents that it needs in its putting it into the cholesterol of the skin of the so-called black man and black woman. This get converted into melanin, and this information literally starts changing and feeding each individual cells of your body. It does the same things through plants, but what it called in plants is called photosynthesis. Well, it goes through the same thing, just with the plants is feeding the melanin chlorophyll. What you is feeding the iron and magnesium that's inside of your blood to give your body information. So technically, scientifically, at 12 noon, your time, when the sun is the highest in the sky, the sun is eating. The sun is eating. It's literally eating. The sun is a living, intellectual, biological entity. The sun is eating. Well, when the sun eat, you eat. Just like you rise when the sun rise, you're going to eat when the sun eat. So your heaviest meal, or you should break your fast at 12 noon. You should break your fast at 12 noon. That's when you break fast or have breakfast. 12 noon. Now, what are you eating during these times? We have to look at the circadian rhythm in the alimentation period of the body. You're supposed to eat your heaviest meal when you break your fast. You're not supposed to eat your lightest meal when you break your fast unless you're cleansing, and we're going to talk about that too. But if you're somewhat healthy, because nobody is truly healthy living in this Roman Greco Anglo-Saxon European country and world that we in, nobody's healthy. To reach true health, you have to unplug yourself from this system psychologically first, then the physiology will follow. But we're not talking about that. That's another topic for a different time. But if you're getting up with the sun and you're drinking, and your libation period is between 6 a.m. and 12 noon, at 12 noon, when that sun is the highest in the sky, when it's eating, you eat with the sun. You're going to eat with the Son of God. S-U-N-S-O-N, whichever one we want to say, whether we talking about the spiritual entity behind the physical entity or not. You know, I got to talk in basically in two ways, because there's a lot of different people that follow my channel. But hopefully everybody is understanding what I'm saying. So when you eat with the sun, now your body is assimilating with the food, right? Because now your heaviest meal is 8 at 12 noon. Well, from 6 to 12 is your alimentation period, right? That is when the body is ready to produce all its serotonin and to be liquefied to start its work. Now you have to give the body fuel to work off of, and that is breakfast, which is at 12 p.m. Now, this 12 p.m. period is where you're going to eat most of your food at, because between 12 and 6, that's when you're supposed to be eating. You're not supposed to be eating any solid foods before 12 p.m. and you're not supposed to be eating any solid foods after 6 p.m. That is the period where you put all your food in. It's called intermediate fasting. If you look at the Essenes and the Nazarenes, they did this all the time. If you look at the pharaohs and some of the ancient Kemet Egyptians, they did this same thing all the time. If you go back into Babylonian times and you look at the Cuneic forms and read the stories on the tablets, when you really start talking about the Anunnaki, Murdoch, and you talk about Enki and Enlil and them, they did the same things. They only ate at specific periods of the time of the day because they understood the sun, and they understood they need to rise with the sun, eat with the sun, and start decreasing with the sun, because the sun is what governs the biological clock that's inside of your body, because the sun is made up into your body and more than 150 trillion particles called melanin. If y'all get what I'm saying so far, type in some nines. If y'all get what I'm saying so far, type in some nines. So between 6 and 12, libation period. 12 noon is when the sun is highest in the sky and eating. That's when you're supposed to be eating. And I got a quote. Not only are you supposed to eat when the sun is eating, you're supposed to eat in the sun. So stop eating indoors. Start eating outside like our ancient ancestors did. Get rid of the tables. Get rid of the tables. Get rid of the forks and utensils unless you're trying to eat soup or something like that. Get rid of that. Because these were taught to be utensils to us. The plate, the fork, and the spoon was taught by our ancestors to be a teaching tool, teaching you the very things that I'm teaching you now. And we're going to pull it up and we're going to break it down. We're going to break it down. See, the plate, matter of fact, let me do this real quick. Let me pull it on the screen. Let's just break it down real quick. All right, so if you're looking at this, y'all, let me blow it up a little bit for y'all. Let me blow that up. All right, so if you look, the plate represents the sun. Right now, if you look at the clock of the sun starts at the top is 12, then the mid part is 6, then it's 12 again, and then it's 6 again, then it's back to the first part, it's 12. That creates like a cross, or one of these signals that shows you that there's 4 different portions of the plate. In true Hebraic African tradition, if you cut this plate into 4 sections, each section is supposed to have a meal on it, and your meal consists of water too. So between this first part of the plate, 12 and 6, remember that's your between 6 and 12, remember that's your water period. The moment that 6 and 12 hit, from 12 to 6, this is your solid food period. Then from there, from 6 to 12 p.m. is your metabolic process. Then from there, from the 12 p.m. back to 6 is your cleansing process. So each position or portion of your plate of the sun, because remember the plate represents the sun. The spoon represents the moon. Spoon, moon. I'm not making this up, y'all. It's so much documentations on this stuff. It will blow your mind. The true Hebrew African mindset and tradition of even eating was showing you how to eat with your biological clock and show you how you was in relationship to all that was in nature, whether it be the animals, whether it be the fruits, whether it be the plant, whether it be the stars, whether it be the seas, the lake, even down to a damn insect. We're in a relationship even to the trees of your brother. Like once you truly get into true Hebraic African consciousness and start understanding the world that we in and how you assimilate and how you are connected to everything, you will start being in oneness with everything. And this only can come through eating food correctly that's going to produce bioflavonoids or biophotons. These photons is what gives you your 6th and 7th sense for you can think beyond your indoctrination, because we have all been indoctrinated to the point where we start thinking stupidly. It will overrule our common sense, and even like it will go against our common sense, and you will say that this don't make sense and you will still follow it. At this point, that is called indoctrination. If it don't make sense, then it's not a Yahweh. How we keep saying that things are of Yahweh and it don't make sense at all? It don't make sense whatsoever, but it's of Yahweh? Nah, player, that don't make sense. But see, you lose that when you lose the bioflavonoids. You lose that when you lose the photons. You lose that when you lose the constituents of your food. You lose that because food is part of your sensory senses, because you're feeding your hypothalamus gland these foods. These foods break down into hormones. These hormones is how you experience reality, and that's what's give you your energy, emotions, or what we call emotions, whether we're talking about epinephrine, norepinephrine, dopamines, and all these other different chemical balancings that happens inside of your physiology. That's how you experience oxytocin, which is the love hormone. That's how you experience your epinephrine, your anger hormone. That's how you experience adrenaline, which is your fear hormone. All these things come by way of the food that breaks down and assimilate back with the body. So if we're eating the wrong food, then of course we off. Of course. 1 second, y'all. Anna, y'all, bring me a towel or something, queen. Hopefully I ain't yelling in y'all ear. I'm hot and sweating bullets here. All right. So anyways, when you get to this plate, the plate represents the sun. You eat with the sun. The spoon represents the moon. Right now, the spoon, moon. Remember, the moon is what literally governs the tide. It governs the liquid. That's why when you sip in tea, a lot of people, even though you're not supposed to be sipping tea with no aluminum steel spoon because it will leach off into it, but most people use bamboos. Most people use all types of different like barks and stuff and wood to make their spoons. You will use that to scoop your liquid, to scoop your soups. That represents the moon. The fork represents these 4 processes that we're talking about. That's why whenever you see a fork, you see 4 points at the end. This is teaching you how to eat correctly. You see that? This is teaching you how to eat correctly. So the plate represents the sun, the spoon represents the moon, and these 4 little pitches on this fork represents each different time. The first time, which is between 12 noon and 6 p.m., is called the alimentation time. The second point of this fork is between 6 p.m. and 3 a.m. That is called a simulation time. You see that? This little piece right here, the third part or point to this fork between 3 a.m. and 12 noon is called elimination time. And then this 4th part is your rebuilding. Like even when we ate things, thank you, love. Yeah, the spirit moving up in this deal. I'm sweating. So even when we ate and how we ate, taught by our ancient ancestors, they was teaching us how to eat our foods, showing you that a spoon is used for liquids. The plate is used for your solid foods, and your fork is literally the governing part of your body, just like they use a tuning fork for healing. All of this is for healing, y'all. We thinking this is all about just eating and sitting down and pigging out and dogging out. But this was a way to teach the African children, because at the age of 12, you went through your rites of passage in the homeland, and you was an adult. You had to learn what these things was for when it comes to the Hebraic African mind. You just couldn't sit down and eat with a spoon and fork, because a spoon and fork is truly not really for eating. It was for teaching people when to eat, how to eat, and what to combine when you eating. This is a teaching utensil, a teaching tool. Once you learn this, you threw this stuff away and you ate with your fingers. You sat on the floor. You didn't eat at no table. See that? We got to start questioning where these traditions are really coming from, because if it don't make sense, guess what? It don't make sense. All right. Now, I want to pull this up too to just point something out. Notice later in time, they started adding the knife. Now, the reason why the knife was added is because we taught a different people how to eat. We taught the Europeans how to eat. We taught the Caucasians, the Caucasoids, how to eat. And when we taught them how to eat, they took this back to the caves, to the mountains of Caucasus, and taught they associates how to eat as well. What happened was, if you read in the Book of Dirt, and if you study cave history, after the Hebraic Africans taught them how to eat, when they went back to the caves and started civilizing themselves and teaching themselves, they were robbing each other of the food. That's where you get the word snack food come from. It come from snatch food, snack food, snatch food, right? So they started snatching each other food. Well, they created knives, and they used to literally eat out of the plate and hold the knife in one hand. So you think this knife is to cut your meat and to cut your steak, and it wasn't for that. This knife was to protect the food from another European civilization coming up through the mountains and trying to snatch or snack their food. And you walk around eating snack food all day. And it's basically called quick food on the go, because that's what snatch food is. Let me come get somebody meal. I'm going to go rob them real fast of some food, snatch food. And now we call it snack food. So we have to understand cave history. You got to truly start studying cave history. That knife is not to cut a steak. That knife was to protect them from eating, because there was other barbaric clans, clandestine clans that was running around snatching snack food from them. Snack food, snatch food. So I just want to let y'all know. So a knife was, if you really get into the hieroglyphs and you start looking at, just ancient cuneic forms and stuff, and start looking at the pictures of how we move throughout ancient Sumeria, ancient Mesopotamia, you will see that the knife was added later in history. And that's because we had taught that to other civilizations, and for them to protect themselves while eating, that's when they start using the knives. Other than that, we were just using this for regular learning utensils. Learning skills, learning utensils. And then once we got done with it, at our rites of passage at the age of 12, we didn't eat with plates and stuff no more. We literally, we kept the plate, but we didn't use spoons and forks because we ate with our hands. Then if it was like a soup day or something like that, you would see we were sipping from a deep spoon. The spoon didn't even look like this. The palate of the spoon stuck straight up, and the spoon was deep, and we used to sup it, and we used to sip from it. The spoon damn near looked like a cup with a elongated handle. I'm just trying to show y'all history. Cave history and true Hebraic African history is totally different, but we have all been indoctrinated, so we have mixed it together, and that's the reason why our biological clocks is all out of whack, because we are African Hebraic people acting like European heathens. It's a difference, and that's the reason why you're sick, because your body is confused, because you're acting like a people you're not. I mean, just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. All right, so let's get back to it. So at 12 o'clock is when you eat your heaviest meal. Your heaviest meal has to be combined right, because we are combining our food the wrong way. We're combining our food the way how the European taught us, and that is at 12. 12 is when you eat your heaviest meal. Notice what y'all always do. Y'all are mixing starch. Y'all mixing y'all starch with y'all grains. Y'all mixing y'all grains with y'all carbohydrates. Y'all mixing y'all carbohydrates with y'all proteins, which we're not supposed to be eating proteins at all. Once we fully understand, once we get into this, and we're wondering why we have so many digestive problems, or we get niggeritis, and the moment we get done, our body shuts down, because our body want to send us to sleep before it can truly start its metabolic process, which is between the hours of 6 p.m. and 3 p.m. That's when the metabolic process, and 3 a.m. That's when the metabolic processes is going on. So when you eat these heavy meals and they're not combined right, and you're eating them at the wrong time of the day, and you're not eating this heavy meal with the sun, niggeritis kick in. And What I call nigga-itis is basically when you ready to fall asleep soon as you done because you done stuffed yourself with all the wrong combination of foods. So your body have to put itself asleep to start breaking the food down, and you not even sleep yet. This throws off the biological clock of the body. Now your hormones are out of whack and your hormones are imbalanced. If y'all get what I'm saying so far, type in some nines. And that's right, Maisha, proteins doesn't break down at all. And that's the reason why we are prokaryotic cells and we're not eukaryotic cells like the Europeans and the Mongolians and all the Asians. We're not them. And that's the reason why we're not supposed to be eating proteins. We are simple single cell organisms that have developed organelles over the time. We did not start off with organelles. We come from prokaryotic cells or pure karyotic cells, which is from the heavens, meaning we need heavenly angel food. Heavenly angel food is a frugivore food. These are the fruits. These are the fruits of the field. The fruits of the earth is what we need, because that is the food directly fed and created by the sun and by the moon and the stars. That's what feeds the fruits. All right. That's why fruits grow the highest on the tree, because it grows the closest to the sun. We are naturally frugivores. We are not herbivores, we're not omnivores, and we damn sure ain't no carnivores. Your whole physiology of your body, if you just look at it and use common sense, don't use no damn religion, use common sense. Common sense will show you that you frugivores. And if you look inside of Genesis 1:29, it shows you that you are frugivore. The producing part of the fruit from the tree was supposed to be meat unto you. That was your meat. Your meat was your fruit. And you use herbs for healing and cleansing. It's a difference. Common sense. Common sense. If it's not common sense and if it goes against common nature, then it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. We have to get past the indoctrination, y'all, because it makes smart people. Indoctrination in religion makes smart people very dumb. It makes the smartest people in the world the most dumbest people in the world. It does. All right, let's keep it going. So between 6 a.m. and 12 p.m., libations. At 12 p.m., you're going to eat the biggest part of your meal, and we're going to get into that. I'm going to pull it up. All right, now between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. is when your food start being utilized, or what we're going to call the metabolitic process. This is the metabolic process. Then at 3 a.m. to 12 p.m. noon is cleansing, and that's why in the morning you're supposed to use your H3O2s to help the body and assist it while hydration, kicking on your organs and cleansing. Now, what I want to talk about and get into is the food combinations, because we've been combining our food wrong, and that's why a lot of us are alcoholics and don't even drink. That's why a lot of us have cirrhosis of the liver and ain't never had a drink in our life, because the body naturally produces alcohol. It does it naturally. The body naturally produces alcohol, and it does it in a way that can be good for you if you do it naturally, but can be bad for you if you start combining your foods wrong. All right. Now we're going to get into the citrics, or what you want to call the acidic fruits. And what acidic fruits mean by definition is not acidic. It's acidic going inside of your mouth because it overrides the amylase, which is this alkaline substance that your salivary gland secretes. It overrides it because it's so highly electrical. This is what you call citrus fruits or acidic fruit. These things will be like your most citric or alkaline acidic astringent fruit is key limes. Key limes, your grapefruits with seeds, your oranges with seeds, your pineapples, organic pineapples, your pomegranates, your tangerines, your plum tomatoes, your green apples, your blueberries, and your plums. These are acidic fruits, or what they're going to call citric fruits, highly alkaline. So alkaline that it will burn you, and you can actually feel it. You eat too many pineapples, your tongue will burn, right? So it goes in acidic. But when the body is simulated and break it down and it goes through its metabolic process and they check the ash that it leaves behind on the cells, it's some of your most alkaline foods ever. You should never, ever, ever, ever mix these with sweet fruits. You should never mix them with melons, and you should never mix them with your simple amino acids, which is like lentil beans, your clove sprouts, your radishes, your peas, and your chickpeas. All of these are a part of the peas fruit. You should never mix these things with your greens, which is your kales, your romaines, your watercress, your arugula, your celery, your alfalfa, your bok choy, your mushrooms, your turnips. And mushrooms are not unclean. You do have some unclean mushrooms, but that's another lie. You got to make it make sense. And all the Hebrews, well, mushrooms are unclean. So you telling me God will make an unclean thing that cleanses the body, one of the most electrical things that's part of the mycelium network that your body produces naturally? Your body fermentate and produce these things naturally, just as well as the earth, and when we can't eat them? Obviously, y'all's biochemist scientific understanding of mushrooms, mold, and fungus is completely wrong. Completely. But that's another topic. See, we can't let indoctrination stop us from simplistic, natural healing of nature. If it don't make sense, then it's not of Yahweh. You have to make it make sense. You got to. But we're going to talk about that as well. So now we're getting into the kale, you get into the seaweeds or the sea moss, the dose, the club moss, the kelp, the bladderwrack, things or vegetables or vegetation that grows from the sea, or what you will call sea algae. Now you get into your baby spinach, not the big spinach because it's a hybrid, but the baby spinach that never grow past this big is actually original. Your parsley leaf, your radishes, your turnips, and of course your mushrooms. It's a proper way to mix these things. Now, for instance, when you go to McDonald's and you eat your hamburgers and you eat your fries, you're just looking at what the Europeans have taught you. You're not looking at the chemical makeup of these foods and asking yourself, am I supposed to be combining and mixing these foods together? I'm going to get back to this. I'm going to pull it back up. So if you look at a hamburger is made of bread. This bread is made of wheat. This wheat is a grain. This is a starch food. Right? The meat is a complex protein that your body cannot break down at all. Matter of fact, it's a proton which eliminates electrons in the body, which is very acidic. So you're mixing uric acid with carbonic acid, right? And then let's not forget the other starch, which is your potatoes. And then they're frying these potatoes, which means they're mixing water and oil. So if you just look at your classic standard American diet, sad diet, it is the worst food combining on planet Earth. And that's the reason why we're having strokes and heart attacks. And we have heart disease at the age of damn 30 because we've been combining our food wrong. And then we eating this bullshit at all the wrong times of the day. At all the wrong times of the day, if I must mention. So let's see here. You got bread. Bread is literally wheat, and most time it's wheat gluten. Now you're mixing bread and you're mixing wheat gluten, which is a grain, which is starch forming. You're going to mix this with a protein, which is meat, right? Now you're going to mix starches, which is carbonic acid, with uric acid, which is protein that your body cannot break down, which is one of the most acidic things on earth other than dairy products. But we finna get to it. Now, on top of this protein, you're going to put dairy products on there, which is the milk from a titty of a cow called cheese. Okay, so we got starch, we got starch, which is your grains of the field. Now you got protein, which is the innocent animal that you're shedding its blood. You're shedding innocent animal blood. Let me guess. Is it for the remission of sins? No, it's not. So then it's just for your animalistic, lustful nature to eat it anyway, which is wrong. But hey, to each his own. So then on top of these animalistic proteins that your body is impossible to the physiology of your kidneys to even break them down, you have the nerve to put dairy products on them called cheese, which is the milk from a cow's titty, right? This is called lactic acid. Then we getting into the fake GMO, not made by Yahweh, potatoes that you call fries that's going to break down to water and oil. Then you're cooking these at high degree Fahrenheit, 350 degree Fahrenheit to fry this protein. To fry this potato. The potato is full of 88% water. So you mixing water with oil. Not only are you mixing water with oil, but you are literally cooking this food to high temperatures. Your body is only made at a 96 degrees Fahrenheit. 96. So your body literally have to, if you eating your food too hot, it got to bring it down to 96 Fahrenheit in order to break it down. If you eating it too cold, like ice cream and stuff, it have to bring it up to 96 degree Fahrenheit to even break it down. Now it have to break down foods that was cooked in high temperatures at 356 degrees Fahrenheit, which it can't break it down. So now it can't break down the oil. It can't break down the protein, and you mixing starches, you mixing grains, you mixing uric acid, carbonic acid, and lactic acid together. Your body is thrown out of whack. So what the body does is the body finds the things to break down that's the easiest to break down. It ain't going to be the protein because ain't no pepsinogen or hydrochloric acid can even break down meat. So it's going to store that up into the tissues of the small intestinal tract, of the duodenum, in the small and large intestines. It's going to pack this shit up, and it's going to be be there for years and it's going to rot. It's going to rot and rot and rot. It's going to rot until it burns down into a glucose. The moment it burns down into a glucose, this acid will start burning and welding the shit to the wall around the colon. At this time, it ferments. This fermentation turns into yeast and fungus, and then it breeds a disease of parasites. That's just with the uric acid, the meat alone. Now you got the dairy products that spoils, milk spoils. That's the reason why you can't leave it out the refrigerator. And if you leave it out the refrigerator, your whole house will stink to high heaven and it brings flies. So now we have milk that's spoiled rotten. This literally leaches something called poisonous lactic acid. Now you got milk that's spoiling inside of your stomach. You got meat that cannot break down that's spoiling inside of your stomach. And by the way, this milk is pus. It is blood pus, and it starts off reddish, pinkish color. They take it to the factories and they dye it white to make it look good, because you know the European concept, if it ain't white, it ain't right. That's why everything that's made to seem white is made to seem righteous, but everything that's made to seem dark, black, and melanated is made to seem wicked. You want to go rob some Negroes, you put on a black mask. You got to go to a funeral that's associated with the dead, you got to wear black. Black is tar. Black, everything that's have something to do with black is the soul of your feet that you walk around on top of all day. You see that? Black is just associated with this evil demising to it, when black is the most righteous thing in the planet. Even light came from the darkness, according to Yahweh in Genesis. But then you see white. White represents purity. Most of your cleaning products is white. This is all psychological color psychology, y'all, that they've been putting on us since the beginning of times. Since the beginning of times. So anyways, let's get back to it though. So you breaking down all of this stuff in your stomach, and your stomach can't break it down. So now your pancreas is wearing out, because all of these things are gonna have, look, in order for the body to break these things down and to use it, it have to break it down back into a simple amino acid structure. So when you eating all these different bad combinations of food, it's too many complex sugars. You got sucrose you're dealing with, you got maltose you're dealing with, you got dextrose you're dealing with. The body only needs fructose and glucose. So it's gonna have to break all of these sugars down just to use it again. So now it's gonna start raising the hydrochloric acid in your stomach. Not only that, it's gonna start raising the blood sugar. It's gonna start raising the glycogen inside of your stomach, which is gonna raise the insulin to bring it down. Now your pancreas get thrown off whack. So now your pancreas, which is the major digestive organ of your body, which helps break down your foods, because it produces more than 4,000 different metabolic enzymic reactions. It produces enzymes that help break down your food. That ain't working properly. So now this stuff literally just rots and ferment inside of your belly. Now y'all know, whenever sugars fermentate, it creates alcohol. It creates alcohol. Your body's supposed to produce a water drop of alcohol every hour. When you eating food like this, it produces 6 to 10 drops of alcohol an hour. And you wonder why your liver is fat, or your cholesterol is high, or you have cirrhosis of the liver, and you've never been an alcoholic, or you never had a drink in your life, because you addicted to the alcohol that your body is making from the chemistry. See that? So the body is going to choose to break down the most simplest thing you gave it. So you done ate a hamburger, you done ate potatoes, which is mixed with starch and water, oil and water, which don't mix anyway. Then you done put a tomato, which is a fruit, on top of it. Then you done put lettuce on top of it. And then you done put cheese on top of that. So the body is going to choose the simplest things to break down. So guess what the body is going to try to break down first? The tomato that you have on your burger, or the lettuce that you have on your burger. This ferments, and then while it's fermenting, it sits on top of the meat, and it sits on top of the dairy products, and on top of the grains, and then everything else becomes mold. Have y'all ever seen an apple? When one apple go bad, it spreads, and all the other apples have mold and fungi on them. Same thing that's happening inside your stomach. This literally is what breeds parasites and what makes an acidic environment for your body. So now your body have to spend most of its energy, when you were supposed to be living your purpose out through the day. Your body tired as hell because you done messed it up, and it's like, how in the hell I'm finna break down all this food? So it says, let me use all the energy resources that I have from my adenosine triphosphate, from my APT. Let me get 150 trillion of my energy centers to try to break this food down. So now you tired as hell throughout the day. Now you got brain fog and you can't think straight. Everything is going wrong with your day because you decided to combine your food wrong and eat it at the wrong time of the day. Ooh-wee. So now let's pull this up. Let's pull it back up. So this is how you properly combine your food, family. I got you. All right. So let's get into this. All right. So again, your electrical citric fruits. You got key limes. You got grapefruit, or you call pomelo or pomelos. These are all good grapefruits. You got oranges. You got pineapples. You got pomegranates. You got tangerines. You got plum tomatoes, which is a fruit. Tomato is not a vegetable. If it have a seed inside of it, it's a fruit. What happened was, in order for them to get certain fruits over here into Mexico and evade the fruit tax law, the Europeans started lying like they always do, lie to everybody about everything. They started lying with inside of their legislations and their laws, and they started classifying a lot of fruits as vegetables when they was actually fruits, but they can invade the fruit tax law. So a lot of these things are fruits and they are not vegetables at all. If it have a seed inside of it, it is a fruit. All right, your blueberries and your blue plums. Plums. These are the things that are citric. These are the things that you are going to call a acid forming fruit, or acid starting fruit, because it forms and it becomes alkaline when you digest it. You supposed to combine these with your subacidic fruits, like apples, like apricots, all of the berries, your cherries, your figs, your mangoes, your peaches, your pears, your grapes, and your nectarines. With seeds, organic with seeds, with no herbicides, pesticides, and insecticides on them. You can combine these things, but you're going to eat these things later on throughout the day, or you're going to juice these in the morning and use these as your water, or what we're going to call your H3O2. Because remember, at 12 noon, that's when you eat your heaviest meal. Now, me at 12 noon, my heaviest meal is just going to be a big ass bowl of fruits, a heavy big bowl of fruits. I probably eat like 7 cluster grapes, whole cluster of grapes. That'll keep me full through them 6 hours. But if you are not on the frugivore diet, or you can't stand that frugivore diet for long periods of time, you can eat alkaline foods until you get to the frugivore diet, but you got to make sure you combine them right, because you do not want your body producing too many alcohols and fermentations, because now you're going to have toenail fungus. Now your colon wall is going to be prolapsed, and you're going to have farting problems. You're going to be funkerizing the whole entire universe, walking around just farting and pooting and shitting on yourself, because you done combined your foods improperly, and they're producing certain fumes. And these fumes are gases, and these gases by biometric pressure have to leave the body. Otherwise, it will taint and pollute your blood. That's where you get farting from. You have to fart, because if you don't fart, then you're going to pollute the blood. These are gases that's not supposed to be in the blood. These are certain different things that are on the periodic table that if improperly get mixed together in the wrong ways, these gases can become toxins. Just like you turning on your car and you leaving your garage shut while you sitting in your car while your car running. You ain't gonna live to tell about that day unless somebody come open up that garage door to get that carbon dioxide gas up out of that garage. You will die in your car. Same thing when it comes to your body producing certain carbon dioxide gases when your food is breaking down. That's why the body fart. So if you have farting problems, then that means you have a digestion problem. Facts, and you need to look into the pancreas. All right, so let's get back to it. So you mix your citric fruits with your subcitric fruits. Now, your subcitric fruits can be mixed with your sweet fruits, but you would never mix with your so-called acidic fruits with sweet fruits. This will produce too much alcohol. Remember, alcohol is due to fermentation. Fermentation due to spoiled fruits that sits inside of your belly that's being heated up over time by the hydrochloric acid inside your stomach. There's a proper way to eat your food, family, and I hope y'all understanding this. So you're going to mix your acid fruits or citrus fruits with your sweet fruits, which is bananas, persimmons, real bananas, burro bananas. There's over 1,000 different variety of bananas, but true bananas is like 160 of them that was made by Yahweh. These are your burro bananas, your Jamaica plantains, your Asian red bananas, and stuff like that. That's full of seeds. Your Caribbean bananas. These are very, very good for you, and they're full of potassium monophosphate and manganese, so they're very good for you. Your persimmons, your date plums, and your coconuts. These are very good things things to mix with that. Now, you can eat dried fruits like raisins and prunes and figs, but I warn you, you have to put water back into them before you eat them, because what happens is if you eat them dry, remember, the body have to turn it back into its natural chemistry in order for the body to truly break it down. So what the body does, the body will start pulling water from up out of the cells and leaving salt there and leaving potassium there, but taking all the water out to turn that raisin back into a grape, to turn that prune back into the prune it was, to turn that fig back into a regular fig with the water in it. It's going to start stripping all the hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon out of the cells of the body to bring the H3O2 back to the dried fruits you was eating. And now it starts to dehydrate the body, causing you all types of nerve ending problems. And you don't want nerve ending problems, because the nervous system is the most system and organ that's attacked when it comes to the black man and black woman. That's what they attack on us. So in order to eat raisins, soak them overnight in H3O2 or H2O. In order to eat dried prunes, soak them overnight. Do not eat these things in a dry state, because it will dehydrate you. Now, you should never mix none of these with melons. Melons supposed to be eaten by themselves. I'll put my mark on the melons on my hand. And the reason why is because melons, or the watermelon, breaks down within 20 minutes to an hour. Cantaloupe breaks down between an hour and 20 minutes. Your bitter melon breaks down within 30 minutes. That's why bitter melon is a very, very good herb to heal when it comes to pancreas disease, like pancreas cancer, diabetes mellitus, and hyperglycemia and things like that, because this alcohol gets into the cell soon. And I want to tell y'all the reason why the body producing natural alcohol, the reason why Yahweh created to do that, and why you have to produce a drop an hour, otherwise you would die. But if you produce too many drops an hour, then you would die of cirrhosis of the liver. Everything is dealing with balance when it comes to the Hebraic African minded God Yahweh. It's balance. It's balance. That's what, just balance and weights. That's how he deals. And then your honeydew, all these things break down super, super fast. That's the reason why you have to eat them by themselves, because if you eat melons and you mix it with other fruits, or you mix it with a hamburger, or you mix it with spaghetti strings, which is nothing but grains and pastas and these starchy forming foods, it's going to break the melons down first. But the melon ain't going to be able to, the melon phytonutrients and fructose factors can't be used, because it's sitting on top of all type of other shit. So it's going to start fermenting. When it starts fermenting, it's going to stay in the belly long, and it's going to turn into alcohol. The reason why the body turns your foods into sugars and alcohol is because you need alcohol to penetrate the cells to bring the glucose factor into the cell. That's what insulin does. Insulin is an alcohol solvent. If you break down the chemical makeup of insulin, it is salt and it is alcohol. That's why when your insulin production is high, your sugar production go low. But when your insulin production is low, your glycogen sugar go high, because insulin is what brings glucose and pass it through the cellular membrane to feed the cell the glucose factor, for it can break down into water and carbon dioxide. That way the cell can get ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which fire off a glucose factor, which give the cells energy and vitality for you to live your everyday normal life. So you need the alcohol. The body produces it naturally by fermenting your foods naturally inside of your stomach. But you need simple foods. That way you can use that alcohol. That way the alcohol can take the constituents, the bioflavonoids, the biophotons, all these phytonutrients and trace minerals that you need, and literally penetrate the Golgi apparatus of the cell to feed the cells the nutrients that it needs by way of the blood and iron phosphate inside of the blood. You cannot penetrate a cell without alcohol. That's why I use alcohol tinctures, and my tinctures are killing the game, healing the world, because they have alcohol in it. These alcohol are breaking up all the phytonutrients and constituents up out of the roots, up out of the berries, up out of the herbs. And my ratio is so strong in the alcohol we use, which is like the grape alcohol or the coconut alcohol and things like that. And when you put it inside the body, it penetrates the cells the quickest. That's why tinctures are healing. That's why tinctures are healing, y'all. So your body needs to produce at least a drop of alcohol an hour. What's happening is we are combining our foods wrong, and we're producing too much alcohol. And now you got fatty liver, cirrhosis of the liver. You have alcohol problems, and you're literally an alcoholic that's addicted to alcohol, and you didn't even know, because you're addicted to combining your foods wrong and eating at wrong times of the day. You have thrown your whole circadian alimentation period off. You're no longer in line with nature. You're no longer in line with God, Yahweh. You're in line with the European. And if you're in line with the European, you're going to die early. Just look at history, study history. Anybody that's been in line with him always die early because he's anti-nature. The European is anti-nature. Nothing is nature about the European. Nothing at all. Nothing. And this is scientific fact. I'm not being racist. I'm just telling y'all the truth. I got European friends and everything. I even got European people I do certain business deals with. So it ain't that I'm hating on anybody. I'm just breaking down the chemical difference and the nature of certain people. We got to understand that. Now, if you can bring them into our mindset individually, because as a whole, they will never get it. But individually, if you can bring certain people into our mindset to understand God, Yahweh, to understand the Hebrew African culture, to understand why Yahweh deal with us the way he deal with us, then, you know, we can do some type of building with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that all is lost when they adapt our mindset, but the moment a Negro adapt their mindset, he's doomed. He's done. He's done. The moment a Hebrew African mind adapt to the mindset of a European, he's done. But the moment a European adopts the mindset of a black man, he's liberated and he can live longer because we are the givers of life. We are the creators in the earth. We are the gods in the earth. We civilize civilization. We created mathematics. We created acrobats. We created irrigation systems. We created rain, bringing rain down into certain places. We created hybrid in certain crops to make it more beneficial for us without destroying what God did to it. We taught them that. They just perverted it and made it wicked. So if they adapt to our mindset, then we can save them. But they can never save us because they're not us and we're the original gods of this earth. All right. So now, when you get down into it, let's go down into things that you thought was fruits. Things that you thought was vegetables that's actually a fruit. Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts is a flower. It's actually a fruit. Zucchini. Zucchini is actually a melon. It's actually a fruit. It got seeds within it. Eggplant. Eggplant is a fruit. It's not a vegetable. Okra. Okra is a fruit. It's not a vegetable. It's a closed flower. Green beans. Green beans is actually a fruit. Peas. Most of your legumes, most of your legumes are fruits. Peas are fruits. Quinoa and quinoa, sorry, technically they're fruits because these are the reproductive part of the plant. All right, cucumbers or melons, they're fruits. That's why you're supposed to skin your cucumbers. Do not eat it with the skin. Skin your zucchinis. Do not eat it with the skin. Would you bite smack dead into the skin of a watermelon and a cantaloupe? No, you wouldn't. These things are melons, so don't eat the skin of them. That's why if you see in Dr. Sebi Village, and I learned this from my skin your cucumbers. That's why in Dr. Sebi Village, they always skin their cucumbers because a cucumber is a melon and the skin does not break down. The skin is just as tough as meat. So make sure you skin it before you eat it. Bell peppers. Bell peppers is a nightshade, so be careful with the bell peppers, and you never cook bell peppers inside of a skillet with aluminum because it will cook the aluminum up out of the pan. You never cook your tomatoes in an aluminum pan because it will cook the aluminum right into the tomato. I done watched it. We done did experiments on it, so never do that, all right? And then last but not least, you got your cabbages, your red cabbage, your purple cabbage, your green cabbage, which is a good detoxification and a good pancreas diabetic healer, by the way. But your cabbage, these are fruits. These are not vegetables. A cabbage is a big ass flower. All right. You mix these with your low non-starching vegetables like kale. You mix these with your low non-starching vegetables like romaine, watercress, baby spinach, arugula, celery. Celery is very good for the kidneys and it will open them kidneys up. A lot of people think that celery is a hybrid, and in fact it is a hybrid, but it's a hybrid by nature. See, there's a difference when Yahweh hybrid is something and the white man hybrid something. If the European hybrided, he's going to take all the manganese up out of it. He's going to put a manganese inhibitor on it because manganese is what gives selenium and what gives zinc to the nutrient factor of the nitrogen that's inside of the seed. And this is what grows things more. So when they put manganese inhibitors on it, it stops the reproduction part of the plant, and then they can do their eugenetics and they can add these into transmutations and add them to different genes and splice different plants to make what they want to make. That's total different. That's a total difference to what Yahweh would do. So they would literally take a plant and pick specific genocodes up out of it to make it function better, for they can get faster yielding time, for it can stay on the shelf longer, for it can make a satisfying taste, for it can grow, whether it's bugs and insects around not trying to eat it. Look, if a damn fruit don't want it, if an insect don't want to eat it, I don't want to eat it. If an ant don't want to eat it, I don't want to eat it. If a locust don't want to eat it, I'm not putting it in my mouth. And these are the foods that the Europeans are creating. They're creating foods to make money, so they don't want a locust to be able to eat it. They want it to taste nasty to a locust, or if the locust bite it, the locust die. So if the locust, which is a biological living entity, eat it and die, then what happens to your cells when you eat it and die? See that? This is transgeneration mutation type of things. They deal with that. When Yahweh hybrids something, Yahweh will say, you know what? Let me let this fruit tree fall and let me let the seeds of that mix and mangle with this seeds, and then instead of a cantaloupe, this is going to be called a summer melon. It happened by nature. This is what they call they call stuff like this a freak of nature. How did it do that? We didn't do it, so how did that happen? Who did it? That is a freak of nature. No, that's a miracle. That's the way Yahweh, the universal creator, works. He hybrids things all the time. Celery will be a Yahweh hybrid food. That's good for you. It's still alkaline. But the moment the European go and hybrid something inside their laboratories, it is made to destroy and to kill your melanin. It's a difference. It's a difference. See that? A big difference, y'all. Big difference. If y'all get what I'm saying so far, type in some nines. If y'all get what I'm saying so far, type in some nines. All praises. Y'all get what I'm saying? And no, celery is not bad for you at all. Celery is one of the main constituents of our geogenetic juices that Kawhi always makes. Celery is one of the main constituents that Aniya cooks inside of all of her foods. Celery is so good for you because it has the exact salt water potassium ratio, and it will blow them kidneys open and have you filtering that lymphatic system like crazy. Celery is the ish. Celery is up there with watermelon. Watermelon and key limes are one of your most alkalizing fruits. Celery is by far in there. I mean, they all in the same bracket to me. And we study foods. We study food psychology and food forensics. We in the laboratories. We got the paperwork showing the constituents and what these things are doing to the people we have healed from HIV, herpes, sickle cell anemia, leukemia, cancer, cervical cancer. Y'all seen all them healing testimonies I posted yesterday just for the heck of it. Just to show y'all, healing ain't stopping here. We've been healing for a long time, y'all. Very, very long time. HIV, AIDS, full-blown AIDS, COVID-19, which is not even real. All these diseases can be healed through herbs and proper nutrition and combining your food the right way and following the sun or following the circadian rhythm of the body. All right. Now let's get back to it. So you will never mix these amino acids with anything else. Your lentil beans, your sprouts, your clove sprouts, your radishes, your pea shoots and your chickpeas, your hemp seeds, your raw sesames, your walnuts and your Brazilian nuts. You will never mix these with your fruits, nor would you never mix these with your subfruits, nor would you never mix these with your fruits that fruits that you think is vegetables. Because remember, we have to worry about the salt, potassium, alcohol ratio. All right, foods have to be eaten in a certain category and way. Y'all make sure y'all screenshot this. Y'all can go on my website, www.yakiawaken.com, and this will actually show you how to download these things so you can see them for yourself. And then you got your carbohydrates or your carbonic acids, which is amaranth, your quinoa, your rye, your kamut, your spelt, your teff, your quinoa, your butternut squash, your acorn squash, your black wild forbidding rice. Black wild forbidding rice. All right, it's grass. It's not really even a rice hull. Your peas and your red rose potatoes. I love red rose potatoes. I can't eat them too much because they put weight on me. But I do love red rose potatoes. Dr. Sabi used to talk about them all the time. You can get them from Mexico, but they sell abundant of them at our Whole Foods out here. You gotta travel all the way out to Chesterfield. I make Kawhi go get them. But you got to travel all the way out to Chesterfield to grab them. But man, they good. And then Aniya can make some amazing banana fries. So I love if I want to eat me some fries, if I'm just on a day and I want to have a cheat day and eat some fried food, I will get me some grapeseed oil, because grapeseed oil can withstand high heat, which is, you're not supposed to do this at all a lot of times. But if I do want one of them so-called cheat days and I just feel like eating like that, it's still alkaline. But don't get it twisted. I am destroying some of the nutritive factors in the food. It's not destroying all of them, but it's not going to be the same as eating a plantain or a banana. But you know what I'm saying? You will get you some high grapeseed, natural grapeseed oil, and chop you up some bananas and fry some banana fries or some plantain fries. That's better than a fried potato any day with all that water in it, and water and oil don't mix. So you know what I'm saying? Fried bananas are way better than some French fries. But if I do want me some potatoes, sweet potatoes, alkaline, sweet potatoes, original, and the red rose potato. Any other potato other than that is not real. They mix it with wild yams and stuff like that, and it created all different types of other things that you think is a potato today, which is not. All right. All right. With that being said, I guess I'm going to allow a couple phone calls in. I think we went through everything. Did we go through everything, y'all? If we went through everything, type in some 9s. If y'all lost here, type in some 7s if y'all lost. And I'm gonna recap real quick. So again, between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. is your alimentation time. What I'm going over, y'all, is the circadian rhythm. All right. So between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. is your alimentation time. This is the time where your body needs the fuel. So you're going to be eating between these times. You should never eat before 12, and you should never 12 noon when the sun is highest in the sky. And you should never eat after 6 p.m. when the sun is falling. When the sun falls and go to sleep on this side of this interdimensional plane we call Earth, and it goes to the other side and the moon come out, that's when your serotonin goes down and your melatonin picks up and you go to sleep. And that's the next part I'm going to talk about, which is a part of that fork from 4 points. So the first point of that fork is alimentation. That is between, again, 12 p.m. Well, let's do the first one. 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. is your serotonin libation time. Then from 12 p.m. noon to 6 p.m., that is your alimentation time. That's when you're eating and your body is receiving all this phytonutrients from energy. Then from 6 p.m. to 3 a.m. is your assimilation time. That's when your body is literally repairing itself and getting all of the amino acid structures and things like that from the food and rebuilding the body. Then from 3 a.m. to 12 noon is your cleansing time. And that's when the body is eliminating all the food processing. That's when you're supposed to be drinking and eating your fruits and drinking your juices, your H3O, to help flush the body. All right. So I hope y'all got that. Remember that there is a biological clock in each organ of your body and each cell of your body. They're all on a time basis. All of them have their own time where they do certain things. The liver literally kicks in between 12 and 6. That's when most of its enzymes is made. The pancreas do it 30 minutes after you eat. So everything is going by a biological clock, and these biological clocks are governed by the sun. That's why melanin is so important. So important. All right. So I heard somebody talking about they want a juicer. The best juicer we got is Pure Juicer. I spent like $2,600 on it, but we got all types of juicer. But that's the most best juicer. That's a medical juicer. Down from that, you got the Green Star, which we gave several of them away on our lives before. That's like $600. From there, for real, I'm not going to even offer y'all no more. And you have a Cistric manual squeeze juicer for like $88. We gave a few of them away on our live feeds too. I probably do that next week sometimes. And them are like $88. And them good for like your Cistric fruits like oranges and tangerines, lemons, and key limes and stuff like that. So I say stick with the 600 Green Star Elite. That is a very, 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 very good and affordable juicer that ain't going to be producing bullshit and you thinking you living a healthy lifestyle and you're not even getting all the phytonutrients from the fruits or from your vegetables. Okay? All right, so I'm going to allow my phone line up. Y'all make sure y'all give me a call. Let me plug in real quick. Y'all give me a call and let's get to it. Let's get to it, family. All right, the phone lines is up. The phone lines is hot. Call me on WhatsApp. Call me on WhatsApp through Yaki TV. Peace, love, light, and healing. If you can, mute your phone right quick. Mute your phone. Let me get this stuff a test. All right. If y'all can hear me well, let me know. Let me turn his phone up and unmute him or her, because I don't know who this is on this line. All right, peace, love, light, and healing. Speak your name and speak your peace.
Peace, brother. This is Sienna.
Peace. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Unmute your phone. Peace.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now. What's your name?
Peace, brother. This is Sienna.
How you doing, Sienna? How you feeling, Queen?
feeling well. I'm trying to get my family and my friends to jump on this healing journey. I was talking to one of my good friends today who was supposed to celebrate my birthday with me,
Uh-huh.
but he ended up having a seizure on his way.
Mm-hmm.
So he has epilepsy, and I really want him to start his healing journey.
Hold on, Queen.
And
Hold on, Queen? Can y'all hear her? Can y'all hear her good? If y'all can hear her good, type in some nines, family. If y'all can hear her well, type in some nines. Let me make sure that they can hear you good, and then we're gonna get this started.
okay.
Am I bad with this autofocus on my camera? I don't know what's going on with it. It just keep jumping in and out of focus. It's just doing its own thing. Okay, they said they can hear you very well, Queen. All right, so start over now. What you were saying again?
So I want to. I'm an empath, so I'm kind of like very emotional when it comes to other people, and I feel their pain.
Uh-huh.
And recently, my good friend, his name is Tyrell. He was supposed to be coming to visit me for my birthday,
Mm-hmm.
and he has epilepsy, and he ended up having a seizure on his way to come and visit. And I'm trying to get him to start his healing journey, but I find it very hard. And this is in a lot of different situations and cases, my uncle included, because he has diabetes. I find it hard for me, myself, to get others to get motivated to start their healing because a lot of my family and my family, not only just my blood family, but my family as in black people, they're lost and they don't know their purpose.
Yeah.
So I get a lot of responses like, well, what's the point? Because I don't even know why I'm here. Like they just don't have any motivation to heal at all. So I kind of need like some advice. And I did want to touch on epilepsy because I do remember back in like November you spoke about it,
Uh-huh.
but I just want to make sure what I'm thinking is correct.
Okay, so first let's talk about purpose. I want to talk about purpose because remember, food is psychology. We're psychological people, and we are in a psychological war. And this psychological war have us thinking like that. And while we're in the mental position we're in, is by the foods that we eat, and we have been indoctrinated by people that is not us. The first thing to show people how important they is up to them to find their purpose. You can't show anybody their purpose, but you can show somebody how powerful they is. And once you show them how powerful they is, then they will start treating themselves a certain type of way. And with this treatment and with this discipline and loving themselves, they will find their purpose by doing what they love to do. See that right now they don't even know what they want to do because everything about them is down. They're eating foods that's keeping them down, keeping them dragged out. They're eating foods that's taking away their phytonutrients. It's taking away their bioflavonoids, biophotons. This food is giving them chemistry that is not in simulation with the biological makeup of their bodies. So the first thing to do is to break down who they are, show them that they're different from every other nation on planet Earth. Let them listen to a lot of my lectures, and that's what I do. I uplift the black community and show how y'all are made up of melanin. There is no other race that have as enough melanin as y'all. That's why we jump the highest. That's why we run the fastest. That's why we sing the best. That's why we the rappers. We are truly the influencers of this whole entire earth because we have something called the God particle, or what the Bible called the covenant blood, or what my aunt and Kemet literally calls the Haru. And this is just this specific thing that's inside of us, this particle that's inside of us that is moving and that is connected to the cosmos, that's connected to every living creature here on earth, that's connected to everything. So once you tell them that and show them how powerful they is and show them that they have more power inside themselves than a lightning bolt that come from God out of the sky, and each 150 trillion cells of their body, that they didn't come from earth, but they came from heaven to earth. They came to earth to rule earth, to conquer earth, to run it with power, and to civilize the beings that was here in earth when we came and created them. Then they'll start understanding their purpose. You see that? But first they have to understand who they are, and they cannot understand who they are until somebody tell them. So that's going to be your job and your mission, Queen, is to tell them how powerful they is and drill it into them. Drop seeds here and there, make it make sense. Take it to them into a simplistic form. That way they can start hearing it. And then when these seeds build and build with time, then they start asking you questions. Now you can respond to them back to truly understand what I've been trying to show you, uncle or brother or sister or friend. Now you have to change your diet, because with the diet come information. Now, since we come from the sun, let's start eating from the crops of the sun that the sun grew. Now that's going to bring different levels of spirituality to them, because that's what fruits give you. Fruits and foods is full of information. This information will add to their purpose and add to how great and powerful they is. And then once they do that, they start living life and considering things differently because they thinking process change. Now they start doing what they love to do. And then from there, you articulate or find purpose. But all melanated beings' purpose here in this earth, this is a common purpose that you can tell him now. Everybody got their individual specific way of doing it, but your purpose as a black queen, my purpose as a so-called black king or black god, is to truly save the falling mindsets of humanity when it comes to our people. So your whole very reason for calling in here is your purpose, and that's their purpose as well. But they can't save or love their brother or sister if they don't love themselves, or if they don't think they have a purpose at all. And this come with you changing that indoctrination and re-educating them and making them remember who they truly are and where they truly come from. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's gonna come with you opening your mouth and speaking often and being that example. When you're around them, you eat nothing but fruits. When you're around them, make sure there ain't no alcohol going in your mouth. Make sure you're not smoking. Make sure you're not listening to derogatory down music. Make sure you dressing like a queen, not dressing like whores. Make sure that when you speak with that intellectual properties that mother gave you. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna take you to be that example around them, for they can start matching that frequency. We always want people to match a frequency, but not giving them a frequency to match. So we want people to change, but we're not willing to be the change for them to see and follow. We have to be examples and lead by examples and let them see that. That way they have something to identify with. So next time you're around them, instead of telling them to eat fruit, you eat fruit. And while you eating the fruit, offer it to him. Next time you're around him, and instead of telling him he need herbs, you drink some Yaqui 3 bitters and tell him you would give him the rest of them and tell him you would give the rest of the 3 bitters to him for free. You're going to have to be that example and set up that education and that environment for them to actually buy into. You see that? You're going to have to do that. So next time you're around them, make sure you positive. Make sure you eating fruits. Make sure you taking herbs. Make sure you got on Yaqui Awaken lectures in the background. Dr. Lila Africa, Dr. Amos Wilson, Dr. Ben Clark. Make sure you listening to, Khalid Muhammad. Even you can Louis Farrakhan. All of them are spitting truth and facts when it comes to the liberation and power of our people. You have to empower them. So you have to set that whole environment for them to be empowered. That way when they walk into it, they're like, oh, shit, it's a whole new frequency and energy up in here now. Now they asking you questions that you ain't never thought they asked. You see how they go? So that's what you're gonna have to do. Now, as far as the seizures, and when anybody go through epilepsy or anybody go through any type of seizures or what we call nervous system shortages or short circuits between the brain stem and between between the umbilical cord, which wraps all the nervous systems up, what happens is the melanin neurotransmitters are not communicating with other parts of the body. Now, if you're dealing with chemistry, it's only two sides of chemistry. You either have the alkaline base side of chemistry, or you have the acid corrosive side of chemistry. The alkaline base side of chemistry is what gives you health. It's what gives you wealth. It's what gives you that soothing, nutritive effect. It's mama. It's that black big mama. It's the nurturative factor of the body. This calms you. This soothes you. This brings you healthiness. This brings you wealth. This brings you that mellow melatonin. Then on the other side, you have the corrosive side of chemistry, which is the opposite of being cool. This is acid. It burns you. It binds things together, and it breaks things apart. What side of chemistry would epilepsy be on? Would it be on the alkaline or the acidic side?
Acidic.
So we understand that he have acidic things inside of his body. Now, these acidic things is going to cause a mucosa stimulant response. Whenever you have acids in the body, Big Mama, which is a lipid base, or what we're going to call the lymphatic mucosa membrane defense system. This is what they call the so-called immunological system. This system is going to trick itself, and it's going to stimulate itself to come and bury the acids. I always teach this in this analogy that whenever acids is in the body, mucus is in the body. Mucus is a defense. Mucus is like the fire hydrant. When a fire come, when acids, or what we're going to call that house fire come, the firemen come, which is going to be the so-called immune system. I'm going to call it the fireman, or the lymphocytes, the T cells, the B cells, the phagocytes. They come in the antigens. They alert the lymphatic system and say, hey, hook up the hose to the fire hydrant. And they literally bring the water to put out the acids. Well, that water that put out the acids in the firefighter analogy will be mucus. So mucus comes in and it tries to dumb all the acids down by bringing calcium and stripping calcium from the bone matrix, magnesium, potassium monophosphates, this oil lipid substance base to calm down the acids. What happens is we don't change our diet. So now the mucus is constantly producing and you're constantly eating acids. Well, oil and fire, remember, they don't mix. And then we got calcium. So you got oil, which is mucus. You got calcium, which is a solidified alkaline substance as hard as a rock. Calcification, right? And then and then you got water. These things mix together over time because you're not properly cleansing and digesting, turn into calcification. These things start breaking or they hang at the end of nerve endings. Now, when it comes to seizures, these crystal calcified mucus deposits sits on different things of the brain that we're going to call dendrites, or that we're going to call basically meridians. And these are pathways that connects neurons together, or to connect neurons. It's basically called a meridian melanin path highway. This is what neuromelanin transmitters, this is how it communicates, and your arm can say, your brain can tell your arm move. That was a message that's just moved at the speed and sound of light that went from my hand to my brain to tell it to move. Well, what happened if I got a mucus deposit that then calcified on that highway? Would that message get through? So, okay, so say the whole body is trying to communicate with the central nervous system, right? And it's so much mucus on my brain. What's going to happen? It's going to be a short circuit. You see the short circuit? And I'm not making fun of him. Literally, that's how it is. So now you get these jerking and these short circuits because the electricity and the oxygen is not there to communicate throughout the melanin highway, because it's a traffic jam on the highway. And this traffic jam is acids and damn mucus. So we have to get everybody off the highway. And guess how you do that, sister?
All fruit diet.
All fruit diet with an amino acid therapeutic package, and make sure them 3 bitters are involved. So you already know it. So that's how you do that. And as far as giving them purpose, you cannot give them purpose by you walking in your purpose will show them what their purpose is. Be a light unto the world. You are a light being. You are condensed sunlight queen. You are literally a melanin mystical particle in this earth, and you are here to shine light on this dark world. So that is your duty, and that is your position and your mission that Yahweh the Father have gave you, me, and everybody else. So your mission is to wake them up. So make sure you do that, Queen.
I receive it. Thank you.
All right, it's all good. Peace, love, light, and healing. Make sure you say peace, love, light, and healing to your family.
Peace, love, light, and healing, family.
Peace, peace.
Peace.
If y'all got any questions so far of what the melanated queen came on here and said, y'all can ask them now. If not, the phone lines are open. Call me on WhatsApp, Yaki TV. The number to WhatsApp is 708-831-2335. 708-831-2335. That is the WhatsApp number. Give me a call, or simply use your phone and scan this code right here and call on in. Yaki TV. You broke that down so perfect. All praises, all praise. And that's what it's here for. Remember, it have to be simplistic. If it's not simplistic, it is not of balance. It is not of Yahweh. It is not. And if you're reading something and it's too complicated, Yahweh is not the author of confusion. Either you reading it wrong or it's another agenda going on here, y'all. And these are just facts. These are just facts. These are just the facts. All right. Yaki TV. Peace, peace. Peace, 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 love, light, and healing.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Peace, 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 love, light, and healing, family. Speak your name, speak your peace.
Kiani.
What's your name, brother?
Kiani.
Kiani?
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, brother? How you feeling, God?
Hey, I'm feeling good, God.
What's going on with you, God?
Man, I've been having this since like I was basically born. And and I've been having this problem where dealing with, like, I don't know if it's like narcolepsy, where I can fall asleep at a drop of a dime. Like I can watch TV, or I can be like working, or I can be like playing the game or something like that, and I fall asleep real quick.
Yeah, so what you got going on, you have a hormone imbalance going on. Your body is producing way too much melatonin and your serotonin is thrown out of whack. So that means the biological, look, and exactly what you calling in for is what we talking about today. Your circadian rhythm, your biological clock needs to be retuned. The only way that you can retune this biological clock is by producing more serotonin in the morning. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that you're combining your food properly. And the only way you can do that, I would start off with an all fruit diet, brother, all fruit diet. And I will only eat between the hours of 12 and 6. For real with you, I'll be only eat between the hours of 12 and 4 on an all fruit diet. Then you need herbs and you need things that's high in serotonin, right? To cleanse that body and to truly cleanse out that hypothalamus gland, or to cleanse out that pituitary gland. And well, I can't keep calling them glands because that's going to be what the European doing, which is lying to our people. That pituitary organ or the pineal organ. These are the organs that is a part of your awakening sleep pattern. So if you just falling asleep at the drop of a dime, that means your pineal organ and your pituitary organ is out of whack. They're supposed to be in a symbolic relationship with each other. The pineal organ is feminine in nature and the pituitary organ is masculine in nature, just like the sun and the moon. They're supposed to be at this rhythmatic balance with each other. So they out of his rhythmatic balance. We got to bring them back. The way you do that is by introducing the proper hormones back to your body. So what you need to do is you need to go on the website and download our protocol, because the protocol will actually give you the times and everything that you're supposed to be doing everything. And once you start following the protocols and the times according to your circadian rhythm, you need to get the brain, the central, I was going to say the brain and nervous system kit, the essential glandular kit. That's what you need. It's called the essential glandular kit, which is on the website. It's $300. This comes with every different hormone that you need that comes from the herbs. And then with the diet you're going to be on, the other hormones that don't come from the herbs is going to come from your fruits. You take that and you eat at the times on that protocol that we tell you to eat on, and you will get rid of that problem.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and one more thing, real quick. I have this friend, right? It's a sister, and she has basically like, I don't know if it's fibromyalgia. I guess that's how she said.
Fibromyalgia. It's kind of like lupus and cancer, for real.
Okay, because I don't know if that's really what it is, but she's been having like nerve pain.
Yep, fibromyalgia. Yep, lupus. It's the same. There's no difference between fibromyalgia, lupus, and cancer or MS, multiple sclerosis, or arthritis. They're all the same thing. It's all acidic. It's just acidic environment, brother.
Okay, so like, what is like that she like need? Because I told her that I was gonna try to like not link up with you, but like get a contact.
I got you, God. So what she gonna need is she gonna need to get all of them acids out of her body. She gonna have to bring her pH to at least a 7 and up. Right now she's probably operating at a 3.5 on a potential hydrogen scale, meaning she living in hell right now, mentally and physically. Her body is on fire, is inflamed, inflammation, fibromyalgia. What she need to do is truly cleanse her body, and the best way to cleanse the body is to hydrate the body. The best way to hydrate the body is with water. The best water is not H2O, but it's H3O2, which is the water, what we're going to call the juice from fruits. She need to get her a juicer, the Green Star Elite, and she need to start juicing. She need to drink at least a gallon of juice a day, and minimum fruits and minimum vegetables and juice. And while she's on that, she need to be on my amino acid therapeutic package level 3. That will actually get her all the way together and heal her of what she got going on. We didn't heal over 70 cases of fibromyalgia. We can get rid of that easily, but she's going to have to hydrate that body. If she's too sick and she have too many acids in her and she's been taking too much medicine, then we got to make her diet a little different, because them fruits and that fruit juice is going to pull out all of them medicines from her liver and from the deep tissues within inside of her cells. And once it enter inside that bloodstream, it can get kind of dangerous. So if that's the case, then we have to create her a personal diet. But that's what she need, though. She need the amino acid therapeutic package level 3, and she need an all fruit diet, high in H3O2 fruit juices, at least 64 ounces of juice a day.
Okay. All
right, brother.
Okay, yeah, man. I've been trying to get in contact with you for a minute though, but I appreciate it.
Hey, everything in Yahweh divine timing, God.
All
right, brother. Well, look, may the Most High be with you. May the Most High bless you and your household, God. Peace, shalom, God. Peace, love, light, and healing. Make sure you say peace, love, light, healing, and shalom to your family.
Hey, peace, love, and light, and healing to the film.
All right, peace, God, peace. All right, phone lines are still open. I think I'm going to take about 2 more. I said I was going to be on here 45 minutes to an hour. And as you can see, I went past that time because I talked too much. Peace, love, light, and healing. Speak your name, speak your peace. 2 more. I said I was going to be on here. Make sure you turn your phone down in the background. I can hear me talking. Peace, love, healing. Speak your name. Peace, love, light, and healing. Speak your name, speak your peace. Make sure you turn your phone. Whoever that is, I'm hanging up. I just had to hang up on them. I don't think they got that. All right, phone line still open, family. Phone line still open. Yaki TV on WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, the number is again 708-831-2332. Peace. Speak. You have to cut your background off. I'm gonna have to hang up. It's too loud in the background. The number is again 708-831-2332. Peace, love, light, and healing. Speak your name, speak your peace. Y'all tripping with these phones today. Peace. Peace, love, light, and healing. Speak your name, speak your peace.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing? Somebody to look. Y'all don't know what y'all doing on these phones today. Y'all tripping. How you doing, Corey? What's your name?
My name is Tiffany. How are you?
I'm doing good, Miss Tiffany. What's going on with you? Talk to me.
All right. So I was calling in to hear about something. Maybe I haven't heard you talk about much. I was calling about the heart. So I had a few things going on. Well, I say a lot of things over the last 10 years. I heard you recently talking about epilepsy. I've experienced that. I was having epileptic seizures for a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
Then they stopped. I did endure head injury prior to that. So I think that's what had something to do with that rather than.
Probably so. You probably didn't shook the tree too hard.
Yep. I ain't going to put nobody's name out there what happened, but, that's in the past. However, okay, so once I had my baby, my second child, I had an emergency cesarean against my will because after I had my first cesarean, my first child, I didn't want to have another one, but they were trying to force me to do it, scare me into it, sign my, papers, all type of different things. And I kept declining. So they told me that my baby's heartbeat was not, was low or whatnot to scare me into doing it. And my daughter's father, everybody just agreed. They just was scared, you should just do it, So I had to just stress around with everybody around. I just did it, but it was an emergency. So after that, I came home after that. I felt like I couldn't breathe, literally 2 days after the hospital. And going back to the hospital, they kept me for a couple of days, said, that something was going on with my heart. They did some ultrasounds or whatnot. But they wasn't clear on what it was. They just said, see a cardiologist. One of the nurses that was there happened to see me who knew who I was and was like, hey, what you doing? I gave her my symptoms. And she was like, sound like you had congestive heart failure. I'm like, but they never told me that, So long story short, I was fine after that for a couple years, reversed back to 2019. I was working at Amazon, picking up some heavy stuff, kept feeling like I couldn't breathe, go to the hospital.
Queen, let's do this, for we won't be on too long. Let me know exactly what's going on with you. Just let me know exactly what's going on, and then let's get you together.
Okay, so I was in the hospital for congestive heart failure for a couple of days. That's pretty much it. They told me my ankles were swelling up. I was feeling like I couldn't breathe. I did start, I don't know, right after me being hospitalized, I started losing my hair. But I don't know if that had anything to do with me being extremely stressed because I ended up losing my job because I was in the hospital. So it was a lot. So
sound like your kidneys. It's your kidneys. Your kidneys and your adrenals. And your pituitary gland is in direct correlation with your heart. And the reason why you're not getting rid of the water is because your pituitary organ, or what they call the gland, and your kidneys is not filtrating properly. Your kidneys is in a direct relationship with the adrenals and the heart. The kidney and the heart is directly connected to each other. This is all by your adrenal glands. You have something called a parasympathetic and a sympathetic nervous system. This is the autonomic nervous system. The prefix is auto, meaning these are things that run automatically, which is your digestive system, your breathing, breathing, with the inhalation of your lungs and the output of your lungs. And last but not least, your heartbeat. Your heartbeat and the way your heart function is all connected by way of a water and salt ratio and electricity. So I can tell you right off back that you are having a adrenal gland problem, and it sounds like adrenal gland fatigue, and it sounds like since your adrenal glands is messed up, your kidneys is not filtering properly, which is why you're getting that edema and you collecting a lot of fluids inside of your legs. And now your whole glandular highway is off because the thyroid is what controls the pace of the way the heart beat. See, that's the thyroid that do that. But what actually gets that, because the heart is not a pump, it's a valve. But what's open and closed these 4 chambers to the pulmonary valve of the heart will be the adrenal glands and the pituitary gland. And the pituitary gland is your water retention as well. So it sounds like that you have a whole glandular problem and you have a kidney problem. So what you need to do is you need to go on all fruits, and I'm gonna let you know now while you're on these all fruits, since you already have a heart issue, you're gonna be experiencing a lot of heart palpitations and stuff like that, where your heart start beating systematically out of rhythm and stuff like that. Don't let that scare you. You're gonna feel like you're gonna have shortness of breath, because again, what's control of your lungs is your adrenal glands, and your adrenal glands are not online. We got to get your adrenal glands back online. But in order to get your adrenal glands back online, we have to basically pay attention to your digestion, make sure you properly eating the right foods. Then we got to make sure that you absorbing these foods right. So we got to pay attention to absorption, make sure your digestional tract is cleaned out enough. That way the blood capillaries and the microbiome and the mitochondria that's inside of the DNA that's in the microbiome is taking all these phytonutrients and feeding it to the bloodstream. Now, once it get into the bloodstream, we got to worry about utilization. That is the glandular highway, which is what's wrong with you. Then after that, proper elimination. And these 4 things I was talking about, which is on that fork, which is that waking period, libation, elimination, simulation, and elimination. It's the same thing for the digestion, absorption, utilization, and elimination. You have to have these 4 keys to the kingdom in order to heal this problem. So go on an all fruit diet. On your all fruit diet, you can eat salads here and there when you feeling super, super hungry, or when you feeling like you finna pass out, or you just feeling real down because your adrenals are literally just fending for themselves. You can eat a little salad to slow down your cleansing, but you don't need to be eating no cooked foods. You don't need to be eating no fried foods. You need to be on a raw fruit diet and salads minimum. That way we can cleanse these kidneys and get these kidneys open. Not only that, you're going to need I can't call it the amino acid therapeutic package no more. It's now called our geogenetic package. You're going to need our geogenetic package level 2. And that'll get your heart together, because what we're doing is we're not going after the heart. See, the heart is just a byproduct of the root to the problem. The root to your problem is your adrenals and your kidneys, which is your lymphatic system, by the way. So if you want to systematically simultaneously heal all these things, it will be through my geogenetic herbal therapy.
Okay. And then that one, because I've changed my eating. I've been going to the gym, but I still been sometimes feeling like shortness of breath for no reason. Just
Yeah, no, I got you, but no. So I mean, that working out stuff, that's cool. That's what the Greeks and Romans do. You don't need to. Our ancestors didn't work out. They ate healthy and they did their purpose in the sun, and their body created Hercules bodies and muscles. This is where all these Greek theologians and all these myths come from. These come from black melanated people, and you see the bodies that was on them, and they didn't work out at all. They just ate and they did their purpose in the sun. So muscles don't come from vigorous workout. Muscles come from the proper amino acid, water, salt, potassium ratio. That's where muscles grow and come from, to be honest with you. And you could do that with less activity and just using your body weight. So don't be stuck on working out because you don't want to wear your heart more. You can do things like jump roping, sit-ups and push-ups and stuff like that, but nothing vigorous. That's when you get into European, type of culture. You don't never see black people on hieroglyphs or inside of the pyramids lifting weights, do you? That's because we did.
Got it all wrong.
Yeah, they got it all wrong.
They told me to lose. They said, okay. They told me that it's better for your heart to lose weight.
You lose weight by eating
now
properly.
I be like swimming.
But Queen, you lose weight.
Stop swimming.
No, keep swimming. That's cool. That's not vigorous workout. But, but listen to me though. You lose weight by eating properly. You don't lose weight by working out. You build muscle by working out.
I was doing both.
Yeah, so
I was trying to do both.
So eat proper, but
I
proper
realize
eating.
my lymphatic system is backed up, so that causes you to stop being able to lose weight like you need to in your thyroid.
Exactly. So look, and you on the point. Your metabolic process. What's over the metabolism? The thyroid. But didn't I tell you that's what was wrong with you though? Yes. Because that's what's in control of your heartbeat too. Remember, what gives you that rhythmatic beat to the heart is the thyroid. What gives you the right water constituents to it is the pituitary organ or pituitary gland. You see that? What keeps the blood pumping to it properly is your lungs. Your lungs are the pump. That's through your breath. But guess what's in control of all the things I just mentioned in your kidney filtration? The adrenal glands, the autonomic nervous system, the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. You have an adrenal failure. You're not having heart failure. You have an adrenal failure. So we got to get your adrenal glands back online. And the only way is through geogenetic therapy and an all-fruit diet.
And okay, is this the one is it how long? I just want to make sure.
You need level 2. That's a 10-week protocol. Level 2. You need level 2. That's a 10-week protocol.
Okay.
All right, Queen.
And I can eat any fruits?
Any fruits. Just make sure you download the fruit combination chart that I just showed you. I'll throw it on the screen real quick. Make sure you
screenshotted it.
So, okay, yeah, I just put it back on there. Make sure you download that right there. That way you're not combining the fruit wrong, which is going to give you even more problems. And that's all you need, Queen.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
It's all good, Queen. Peace, love, light, and healing. Make sure you say peace, love, light, and healing to your family.
Peace, love, and light to the family. I love y'all.
I love you too, Queen. Peace.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Peace.
All right, family, with that being said, I'm not taking any more calls today. I got to get up off of here. I love y'all indeed and in truth. If you love you, you have purpose, you know who you are. And I ain't talking about no nationality, identity, but I'm talking about identity itself from within. Do you know spirit? Do you know mind? Do you know body? Do you know the true balance of Yahweh? If you know that true balance, if you know what true melanin is, if you know you are the God and you know that you don't look to the heavens is within, the heaven is amongst us. And you love yourself and you love yourselves, type it in. I want to hear y'all say it. I love myself. I love y'all. And I love myself. I love myself. Let me hear y'all say it. We're going to get up out of here. I was going to play some music, but I got to get up out of this deal. I've been live way too long. And I said I was going to work on that because I've been getting fried. We've been doing documentaries, videos, and everything. So I've been sitting around these lights way too damn long, tricking my body. And I have to practice what I teach, right? I wouldn't be a god if I didn't. That's what I'm talking about, family. All right, with that being said, make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube. Follow me on YouTube at Yaki Awaken. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram at Yaki Awaken LLC. Make sure y'all follow me on my Yaki Hickman page and follow me on my Blue Check Facebook page. Subscribe, like, and follow. Share this video all around the world. We at y'all every Tuesday and Thursday. We got a lot of things cracking off and a lot of things coming to y'all, so be patient. Y'all know what's going on between me and the government. Keep me in y'all prayers. And with that being said, I love y'all indeed in the truth. Peace to the gods, peace to the earth, peace, love, light, and healing, family. Peace.